Hello, we're going to have a look at the 13 media products which you have to know about for this course. I know there's a lot. Before we do that, let's just introduce 3 key terms which we're going to keep coming back to as we go through these videos. These are the 3 phases of producing a media product. The first phase or first stage is called pre-production. This is where we are doing the planning or the designing based on the client requirements. And there are various documents you've got to create at this stage. Production is where we actually create the media product. What that is will depend on what you're making, and you create it based on these plans. Post-production is a big stage in some products like films, less of a big deal in other products. However, post-production covers any final tweaks or changes you might make before delivering this product to your client. So a product itself is what you are making. Try to loosely categorize these according to whether they are produced by the traditional media sectors or the new media sectors. Although it's important you understand that lots of these products are produced by multiple different sectors, and also some products are produced by one sector and used by another sector. Some of these are quite self-explanatory, like videos, which are produced by filming real life. Animations, you could argue, are kind of part of video. However, an animation is typically done either using computer-generated imagery or real-life objects being manipulated, like in stop-motion animation. Now, both the film and TV industries are producing both of these products, and these might be used in other sectors as well. Now, within those videos in particular, we might have some special effects being used. Now, special effects is often shortened to SFX. We've also got something very similar, VFX, which you've also got to know about. VFX stands for visual effects. Now, how are special effects different to visual effects? Well, special effects are normally done during production as it's filming. So an explosion going off in the background is done in a very controlled and safe manner, but it's done during production, it's done live. That is a special effect. We also see a lot of visual effects being applied. These are done post-production, where we've got a green screen and we sub in the background. That is a visual effect, not a special effect. And we also might see some animations added in post-production too. Those are also visual effects. Now, 2 other very similar products we can talk about are audio and music. Audio is sort of our overarching term here, which would include music as well. So non-music audio are things like voiceovers, like I'm doing right now. Also podcasts, audiobooks, and things like that. Music is, of course, used in film, TV, and radio is producing lots of audio. Within print publishing, one of the products mentioned in this list are comics and graphic novels. Both rely on pictures to communicate the story. The main difference is the length between these 2. Comics tend to be quite short, and they communicate the story via lots of panels, which show each scene. We've got some text as well. Whereas graphic long novels might be a bit more text-based, but still heavily picture-based. But a graphic novel is a lot longer, much more like a normal book length. So these are 6 of these products. Let's do the remaining 7 now. Well, digital games are produced by the computer games industry. Computer games may also make use of AR or VR. Or AR stands for augmented reality. VR stands for virtual reality. The subtle difference between the 2 is augmented reality is where we have a virtual environment created within a real life environment. So here, all of these phones and tablets are filming the real room, but the augmented reality is adding in various furniture so you can visualize that furniture in the room. So we're supplementing real life with some computer generated imagery. Whereas virtual reality is fully computer generated. You don't see any of real life. It's only this virtual environment you are interacting with and seeing. So AR and VR are often used in the computer games industry. They're also used in apps. So it'd be used in the internet industry, and also we'd class interactive media as, well, using AR and VR as well. This is used across lots of sectors. Websites are a media product used, of course, by all of these sectors, but the internet sector in particular would be using websites all the time. We've also got social media as another product you can talk about. Social media platforms allow people to communicate with each other and share posts. The interactive media sector is one of our biggest and most vague, I suppose, here. Like I said, it does cover AR and VR as well. Another product which you can talk about is multimedia. This is another quite vague term. Multimedia covers any product which has a mix of different products within it. So for example, here is a museum display. We've got maybe some videos playing. We might have a little bit of AR, a little bit of VR. We've got some audio playing. It's a mix of different media, which is why it's called multimedia. So if you've got sound and video and maybe some images, maybe some text, all in one product, this would class as being multimedia. The digital publishing sector will also be producing ebooks to go on devices like e-readers. And all of these sectors will be making use of digital images and graphics. Things like logos are examples of digital images, and advertisements, billboards, also examples of digital imaging and graphics. So far, 2 videos in, you've learned 8 sectors and 13 products. That's quite a lot to learn. Some of these are quite obvious, to be fair, but some are a little bit harder to memorize. Do try and learn these lists because these are what the exam board are expecting you to be talking about in the exam.